Welcome back. Today let us see the lesson 5 of Unit 1 from Signals and Systems. In this lesson, we are going to cover what is analogy between vectors and signals, part 1. So what do you mean by vectors that can be represented, how they are represented, and how these orthogonal vectors can be represented so that it can be made analogous to the signals. In this lesson, we are going to discuss only how orthogonal vectors are represented, and in the next lesson, we can relate the vectors with the signals. Okay, now let us see what we mean by vector. I think most of you studied EMF subject in which we will come across about scalars and vectors, or in mathematics also we can come across these words. So I think most of you know about scalars and vectors, regular definition that scalar used to have only magnitude, and whereas vector used to have both magnitude and as well as direction. Similarly, here also the vectors are represented same, and how these vectors are represented here we are mentioned as with a bold face or with a bold font we are representing the vectors, and their magnitude with a light font or light face type. Means as an example, we are represented with x v1 where x indicates the magnitude and v1 is the one vector. And expressing v1 in terms of v2 means here we are representing the other vector v2 that need to be expressed for v1. Okay, means we want to express v1 in terms of v2 in some with some expression. Means how we are going to express the v1 in terms of v2, in what way we are representing, and with the, what condition we are representing, that we are going to discuss, and how orthogonal condition need to be mapped or matched with this vector representation, that we are going to see. As you know, we want to express v1 in terms of v2. So we are considering two vectors v1 and v2, making with some angle, some theta. We are not measuring with what angle, and we want to draw a vector ve1 such that v1 on to the vector v2 such that v1 can be expressed in terms of v2. Here we can express v1 along with ve1 with infinite stages. Means infinite plottings we can represent v1 with ve1 and v2. Okay, we are expressing v1 with v2 and ve, which is an error vector with different possibility conditions. Here we are considering only three possible conditions. We can express any infinite conditions, but here we are representing only three conditions. Where first condition is v1 with c1 v2, ve with c1 to v2, and ve2 with c2 v2. Here ve is expressed differently for different positions of v2 vectors. Okay, c1 v2 is nothing but c1 is a magnitude and v2 is a vector of v2, and v1 already discussed is an error vector. So possibility of representing v1 with along with v2 and ve are represented with the three conditions. When we consider with the figures as is shown here, I think you have understood that among these three graphs, or among these three representation of figures, ve is the error vector which will be having very less magnitude. Yes or no? Because when it is other than this v, when we see about ve1 or ve2, the distance is more when we compare with the v. So the optimal or the maximum possibility condition to have a less error among these three figures, the figure 2 is the better one. Okay, as error magnitude is less. So from this above condition itself, we are mentioning that v is a minimum, the value of v1 for figure 2 we can obtain that one. So in this way we are expressing less errors with respect to two vectors, and the same manner the orthogonal condition where we representing will be matching for this one only. Because in the previous slide we see that V is having a less error vector, so we are preferring the second figure. And from the second figure itself we are expressing that geometrically the component of vector v1 along vector v2 is obtained by drawing a perpendicular from the end of v1 on to v2. So for this type of condition the value of c12, which is the magnitude, must be a minimum so that v is less. And here we are expressing that the magnitude of c12 is an indication of similarity of the two vectors. Okay, and if c12 is 0, v1 means if c12 is 0, v1 has no component along the vector v2. Means in what stage or at what condition there will be no vector along v2 when c12 is 0. Means if c12 is 0, how the waveform will be or how the graph will be looking like. v1 v2 will be making a perfect 90 degrees. Okay, at that instant we say that v1 and v2 are mutually perpendicular. Hence the vectors which are mutually perpendicular to each other are called as orthogonal vectors. So just remember that the orthogonal vectors are the vectors which are mutually perpendicular among each other, and these orthogonal vectors are independent vectors because they don't have any similarity condition. Means we can't express the vectors in other vector representation. Okay, here we are expressing v1 along with v2 if and only if it is other than 90 degrees. Means if it is other than 90 degrees, v1 can be expressed in terms of v2. At that instant c12 will be having some value. So if v1 v2 makes perfectly 90 degrees, we can't express v1 in terms of v2. Here we are expressing another verse that you can see in the right side below the figure. The component v1 along v2 is equals to v1 dot v2 by v2, which is c1 to v2, or can also be expressed as c12 is equals to v1 dot v2 by v2 square. In other words, we are writing v2 square as v2 dot v2. Here v1 and v2 are represented with a dot product v1 dot v2. So when vectors v1 and v2 are orthogonal, their dot product will be 0. Means c12 will be 0. It is a condition that must be remembered for the signals also. We will be using this condition for signals also. So please remember the formulas when we considering two vectors v1 and v2. The expression of c12 is v1 dot v2 by v2 square or v1 dot v2 by v2 dot v2. Okay, that's what we'll be having from lesson 5. Catch you later in the lesson 6. Thank you.